Brian T. Shirley, BTS on the road, about to hit that road to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Cabana. I'm going to be there all week. It's Cinco de Mayo today, so could start out to be a pretty wild week. Anyway, I'm here at my dad's memorial bike path that was just dedicated to him. Congrats, Dad, and I will see you when I get back in town Sunday. Right now, Brian T. Shirley, BTS on the road. We're going to hit it on the road.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's such a pleasure to be with you on a very special occasion for me and for our city. Such a lovely day and a very special spot. And to honor a very special, hard-working, dedicated public service whose name will always be a part of this part of our city that he represented so faithfully and with great energy. Larry was a great advocate for this bike path, but Larry was determined, and we were too, that this beautiful bike and pedestrian path be constructed. And what a wonderful amenity it has become. The pastor walks his children to school. People ride their bicycles to church or walk to church. I've never been out here ever when I haven't seen somebody exercising, walking, running, biking. And that, of course, this was envisioned as part of a developing system. So it's for so many reasons that City Council resolved that this bike path be named after Larry Shirley, not just for his interest in sponsorship of this improvement, but also a public recognition of his dedicated service to his constituents and the city of Charleston. This bike path will never go anywhere. It's going to be right here. And the name Larry Shirley on it will always be here for the next decade and the next few generations. And it will become even more important. People take advantage of the opportunity for exercise and relaxation, being with children or grandchildren, enjoying these beautiful neighborhoods and this wonderful city. So Larry, it's a real thrill for me to be with you today, and Sam and your friends. I'll call on you in a minute, and then to unveil this plaque, and it makes me even more excited about riding up this highway the next time. I'll not only see people exercising this wonderful citizens amenity, but I'll get to see the name of my friend and dedicated public service servant, Larry Shirley, right here. Larry, congratulations and thank you for your service.
That was just about as good as a yield you can get. Of course, we mentioned Sam. My son Brian can be with us. He's right over there. He's leaving for Myrtle Beach right after this to make people laugh at the comedy Cabana. So there's your free plug, son. My stepson, my wife's son Robbie, and his better half Rebecca are in Austin, can't be with us. Sean, my other son, and Lori, my daughter-in-law, and Brennan and Landon, they can't be with us because they're in Ohio going to school and working. But in July they will come and view the sign. It's not about me, it's about the community, and it's about what you can give back to the community, as the mayor has been doing for almost a half a century. Thank you, and this is a great event, and I know y'all are ready to wind it up and have a happy, what is it, Cinco de Mayo Day. So this is a great Cinco de Mayo Day for my family and I. Mayor.
Here you go.
Wasn't a surprise. In 2012, I actually have the artist rendering of this. So it's been a long time in coming. And matter of fact, I thought, well, it might actually end up being the memorial Mike Patch.
You know, I'm Larry Shirley. If you don't believe me, you can see it on the sign. And you're watching BTS on the road.
Kicking on down the road, kicking on down the road. Ready or not, it's time to learn a lot, and I'm polishing up my stone. Kicking on down the road, kicking on down the road. Ready or not, it's time to learn a lot, and I'm polishing up my stone. Turning my stone over in my restless fingers, thinking about where it's been and how it came to be smooth. Turning my thoughts over in all my restless feelings, thinking.
Hi folks, Brian T. Shirley here, as you can see at the Cabana in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I'm here with Ron Joso and Cooter Douglas all week. So we did a show last night, pretty good. Show's going on right now. Cooter just went up on stage, got the crowd going, and I'll be up next, and then Ron Joso will take the stage as the headliner. So here we are, a week in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, BTS on the road. It's Jeff, the owner of the Cabana.
There he goes again.
How are you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing fine. Looking forward to a good show, Brian T.
It's Wednesday,
I
man.
hope you had a nice day and you're funny tonight.
Me too.
You always are, but maybe it's a younger crowd than last night, huh?
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, they were ready for the coffins last night, but we got a great...
Don't forget to throw out that F-bomb and test the waters.
The players is all confused. They can't hit the quarterback. Now they can't hit their wives and kids no more. They don't know what the hell to do. Now the Adrian Peterson fella, they kicked him out of the league last year for taking a switch to his 4-year-old youngin. If my grandma was alive today, they'd be strapping her ass in the electric chair tonight.
When I met him, I was so ignorant. Like, you're Japanese? He's like, yes. I'm like this. Hey, I did that shit. Why you bow like that? I'm like, that's what you guys do. He's like, no, no, no. Very casual, like this. Hey, like the opposite of your what's up.
Are you ready for tonight, Ron?
Oh, yeah. I'm going to the bathroom.
There's Gina.
Yeah, how are you? It's BTS on the road.
Yep, how about you, Cooter? Cooter in his natural habitat.
BTS on the road.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Myrtle Beach's comedy headquarters, the Comedy Cabana.
That's about it. Y'all ready for your picture? Come out here, man. This guy just came off his top to bottom tour. He can be seen on the BTS webcam, website, something on the internet, webcast, that's the word I'm looking for. How about a big round of applause? He's the author of 3 books. Big round of applause for Brian T. Shirley.
But now 17-year-old don't understand spam. See, he's thinking about the shit on the computer. No, we're talking about food. Sort of. Close. Very close. I ate a lot of spam when I was growing up. I took a poop that would come out in a small little block. She's laughing. I'm yeah, the block. Didn't hurt though. I had the jelly stuff on it. You look behind you. The geek thing hurt though. 17-year-old has no idea what I was still talking about. With the geek thing, he's like, what the hell is that? You know why? Because now they got the pop song. See, the geek thing is what you hope you can with. Back in our day, we had to work our ass off to get that shit out of here. And if the key thing broke, you're fine. Oh yeah, no spam for you. You know, you're not explaining that, right? 17 has no idea. He's just laughing. He's just a genius. I know he's just a genius. But you're gonna learn a lot tonight, 17. Two's not bad. See, the whole thing about it is that men and women go to the bathroom differently. No, I'm not talking sitting and standing. I'm talking about you. I think even 17 is going to No, but it's true. All right, I'll give you an example there, young guy. Think back. Puppy dog stage. Long time ago. See, what happens is the guy is at the house with the girl, or she's over at his house, whatever. They're sitting in the living room. She's like, I'm going to go to the bathroom. He's like, okay, I'll miss you. You know. It's a long time. That would happen to him now. You, I know that don't happen anymore. I'm going to the bathroom, thank God. Get the hell out of my life for 15 minutes. Difference. So, what happens with a young guy is she goes to the bathroom, right? But what she does is she leaves the door wide open. Now that confuses a young guy. You're just used to, you're comfortable as hell right now. You're like, yeah, so. Young guy's going, what? Why would she do that? See, I went through that. Huh? It's a hint. It's a hint. Yeah, you're fucking dumb, sir. It's a hint. Yeah, you have a lot to learn. Thank God you came here tonight. Because that you would have embarrassed the shit. She doesn't have to leave the door open. He runs in there, you go, ready? Damn, I said, you some embarrassment right there. It's a hint. Shit. I've got so much to learn. Right? Come on. You gotta get that in. It's a hint. That's wishful thinking. That's what that is. All right. Pay attention. Do not speak out anymore. I'm trying to help you now. You can, but boy, you know. So, what happens, sir, is when they leave the door open like that, it's not a hint. They just want to still communicate with you. That's all. What they're doing is, okay, that's what that is. Because see, they go in there, and they think it's fun. Because they'll go, honey, can you come in here for a second, please? And of course, this dumbass will go in there. Right? Him, he's like, no, there's a green cloud, I'm not coming in there. This idiot self will take his pants off and go, yeah, here you go. And then he'll stop at the doorway because that cloud hit him. I'm like, yeah. Oh my God, she's so petite. What the hell?
There's a death frog right there. That damn old comedian was right. What the fuck? Oh God, I love butter. You'll substitute anything and everything too. Today on the show, we're gonna make shrimp fried rice. You don't got rice? Use macaroni. You don't got shrimp? Use cheese. There's not macaroni and cheese. Then all these extreme makeover shows. Last week's episode, they had a lady that got a breast reduction, which to me shows power and strength. I respect any woman that gets a breast reduction, because there's no guy in this room that would shorten their dicks no matter how bad their back feels. Mr. Johnson, the size of your penis is causing back problems. We're gonna have to cut it from, oh, fuck you. If it's all low balance, cut off my arms. I don't even need them. Hey, you guys have been great. Thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Hey, this is Ron Jostle, and you're watching BTS on the Road.
Brian T. Shirley here, BTS on the Road, giving you a report about the shows so far and what's going on here at Myrtle Beach. It's been great. We've had some great shows. We've got 2 left. It's Saturday, so we got 2 shows left tonight, but really haven't got to show you much of the beach or anything because Tropical Storm Anna showed up. Yeah, it was just upgraded. So tomorrow morning, this thing is going to probably be near the coast here at 8 o'clock. So hopefully that won't affect the shows too much. But yeah, we're in the middle of a tropical storm. Came early. The season's not even here yet. And we already have a tropical storm. This is Anna just swirling off the coast of South and North Carolina. And we're pretty much right in the middle of it. Might be a little south of us, but we're getting the bands coming. If you can see, it's blue over here, looks beautiful, and then you got the clouds, and they're moving all around. Looks real bad out there. But anyway, Brian T. Shirley, I'm gonna go with Ron Josol. He's from Toronto. He's never had shrimp and grits, and that's big down here, especially in South Carolina. So we're going to take him out and get him some shrimp and grits here at BTS on the Road.
Then suddenly a touch breaks down your last offense. The promise to yourself to never.
This is Ron Jasol's first bite ever of shrimp and grits.
All right, here we go, man. This is gonna be, oh, this looks so good. Mmm.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Pass the test?
This is so fucking good. Wow. I don't even know what sauce this is.
Well, there you go, folks. His first ever shrimp and grits down here in Myrtle Beach. I
can't give you any of this, man. This is all for me, bro.
Brian T. Shirley here outside the Comedy Cabana in Myrtle Beach. I feel more like a weather guy on the Weather Channel or something that you see when they're out by the beach or something when there's a big storm right behind them and they're almost getting blown out of the camera view. Hi, this is Brian Shirley. I'm in Myrtle Beach. We got a tropical storm Anna all around us right now. As you can see, it's just incredible. I mean, this is what we were warned about for days now. And yeah, get in, get under their house, you know, do whatever you can. Put your cars on top of the house, take the cows, and put them in the bin. Just get out of here. Brian T. Shirley reporting, yeah, Tropical Storm Anna. Anyway, that's what happens, but that's what I try to do. I try to bring you everything, the good, the bad, the ugly, right here on BTS on the Road.
that somebody's gonna catch the flu and infect the whole boat, you know. Every time you go around the corner, they got a little girl standing there, one of them squirty bottles. She'll say, washy, washy, happy, happy. Washy, washy, happy, happy. Well, I got tired of that in about a day. I come down there the next morning for breakfast, and she jumped out there and said, washy, washy, happy, happy. I said, well, how about cleany, cleany, weeny, weeny? How about that there, man? Yeah. Where are you going? Come back here, honey. Come back here. That'll just about get you kicked off a cruise boat, y'all. I'll tell you that right now. This guy just got back from his top to the bottom tour. He's got a web series, BTS on the Road, you can check out on the internet. He's the author of 3 books. How about a big round of applause for Brian T. Shirley.
Y'all keep it going for Cooter Douglas. Make some noise for Cooter. Let him hear it. All right, man. Saturday night, you guys doing all right? Good. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm originally from the north. Oh, cool. Thank you. I am from the north part of Georgia. I'm glad y'all yelled, actually, because I was in West Virginia a couple weeks ago. When from West Virginia? Okay. I'll slow down. Sort of. Were you born on the border or something? Shit. Anyway, I was up there in Beckley, and I said I was from the north, and it got real quiet. That's why I'd rather hear noise. I'd rather hear something. It got so quiet, all I heard was that was all I heard. I was like, relax, I brought a goat. They're like, I grew up in a very little town called Marietta, Georgia. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Marietta. Yep. Actually, I said it wrong. Actually, it's pronounced Marietta. I have too many teeth to say it like that. They didn't like that joke in West Virginia. I got mad. Look, I said, hey, don't get mad, get some teeth.
My dad's very religious. He's like a hardcore Christian, you know. But he's been in the country for 40 years. He still can't do a lot of things. He doesn't know how to leave voice messages on my voicemail. That's on my voicemail. It's like, you have one new voice message. Beep. Hello? Who is this? Give me back my son. Even before we had cell phones, we had pagers. My parents would call me at 2 o'clock in the morning and leave all these weird messages. They used to use words in English that nobody uses anymore, like, where the hell are you? You're always outside gallivanting. What the hell is gallivanting? Holding hands with a girl running through a field of roses. Parents always make you feel guilty and give you those messages back in the day, like, you never come home. You're always outside. You don't love us. Are you trying to kill your mom? Let me sing a weird ending. Okay, thank you. What the hell is that thank you? I don't care how outrageous the message is. You're no longer my son. I disown you, you piece of shit. Thank you. I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian T. Shirley, BTS on the Road. We're back here at the Comedy Condo, having done a week. 7 shows from Tuesday to Saturday. And what we're going to be talking about now is alternative comedy. What is that, you might say? Well, we're going to have Ron Josal explain it to us, but I say funny is funny. You know, whether you're a magician, a comedy hypnotist, you know, a ventriloquist, you do music in your act, whatever. I mean, to me, funny is funny. So alternative comedy, to be honest, I don't get it. You do a setup and you don't have a punchline and you mumble through it. Who knows? Anyway, we're going to get the real, because this gentleman has actually done festivals where he has been asked to an alternative comedy festival. So we're going to get the lowdown, we're going to get the inside story on alternative comedy right here on BTS on the Road. Hey, Ron.
Hey.
We're going to be talking about alternative comedy while you make your after-show dinner. You had a lot to say about this, though, when we were discussing it off the camera. First of all, what do you call alternative comedy? What is it to you?
To me, it changed from when I started. It was you have to compare it to when rock or like rock and roll was big, and people were going to concerts that were 20,000 seats. There was a movement of jazz and a movement of R&B that was kind of underground, or more blues and jazz, and that was more alternative to what was happening at the time, like the 60s and 70s. So comedy was like that when I started.
So you think alternative comedy is something that, you got the mainstream comedy, so these guys feel a need to rebel, so they do what they call an alternative style.
Just like how music was, right? So when I started in '97, there were already alternative comedians at the time, like Patton Oswalt and David Cross. To me, were kind of like the guys that started in the '90s. You could actually say that Andy Kaufman started it before it was called alt.
Right.
Yeah, right. But
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Or even Lenny Bruce in some level, But Patton Oswalt and David Cross were guys that did not want to play the comedy clubs, and they didn't feel that the people there were open enough to listen to other types of humor. So they were doing independent rock venues, independent places where music was played. So the alternative music or indie music was where they would do their comedy. And then after a while, they became so popular, Mr. Show and Patton Oswalt also being on Kings of Queens, whatever, that they started selling out the comedy clubs with their fans. The difference was they were saying that if you play comedy on a regular basis, the crowd you get may not be comedy fans, and sometimes when you're not comedy fans, they're not gonna laugh at something that's kind of up to date in the style of comedy, right? But because they brought their own people, right, they were able to build an alternative scene that became so big that it's now mainstream again. So alternative, like jazz and blues, when it gets popular, is at the top again. So it's always that. It always happens like that, I find. The mainstream music or comedy, people watch like rock star stuff, and then all of a sudden people are sick of it. They're like, you know what? There's nothing that's really distinct about it. They're really becoming too generalized. They're really becoming too broad. Let's go look at something that's a little bit more artistic. And then they go underground, and then that becomes big, and then becomes broad, and then they start again. So it almost looks that's how art is created. And so alternative comedy, you could also say that Sarah Silverman was part of that movement, and so Patton Oswalt, David Cross were kind of the three main people that were kind of doing that. What is it? Talking to alternative comics now that are in their 20s, they say this: Ron, when you come into a club, you dress the same way your act is. It's tight, it's clean, it's crisp. Where that's the same reflection of what a mainstream act is. Alternative comedy is not clean, is not crisp, is not polished. It's more dirty. There's rough around the edges. There's really no setup, punchline, tag, tag, tag. Setup, punchline, tag, tag, tag. There's setups that are hidden in conversation, punches that are hidden in conversation, and less tags. So in that way, they're still doing the setup punchline, but it sounds more conversational. So I said, what, like Louis C.K.? Well, Louis C.K. and Bill Burr are mainstream comedians that can play the alternative scene because their style is alternative in terms of what they wear and how they speak. You know what I mean?
Hi, I'm Larry Shirley, and if you don't know who my name is, right there it is. And you're watching BTS on the road.
Waiting on the sun. Oh, yes, I'm waiting on the sun.